Hi everybody, out and about with Tom and Sherry. We're going to go out and see if we can catch some of the fall colors going up to Lake Tahoe. So we hope you'll join us for the road trip and some sights up at the lake and some fall trees.
And some stories.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
All right, first stop is at Costco to get some gas and check the air in our tires. Our tire pressure light came on the other day. We've been having trouble with one of the tire pressure sensors, and I think it's just that. But we'll fill up the car with gas at the Costco gas station, and then we will fill up the tires at Costco by the tire center. All right, well, we're headed out of town off to see the fall colors. On the right here, there's some fall colors over there. Down here in Carson, they're not turning so much yet, and but that's the urban fishing pond. A few fall colors here. We're going south on Highway 395 into an area they call Indian Hills. Not too sure why they call it Indian Hills, but they do. So this is a big shopping center on the right. It's got Walmart, a bunch of other places. In-N-Out Burger, a True Value hardware store, surprisingly enough, opened up in there, which is pretty, or True Value or Ace, I forget which, but it's pretty nice, and it's nice to have a big hardware store close to town. It's markedly different than the big box home improvement stores. So, but there's another shopping area over here, and it's got a Home Depot in it, Target, stuff like that. So if you want the big box home improvement store, it's there. Anyways, we're over the top of Indian Hills, and on the left is what they call a Sunridge development, and then on the right is just Indian Hills. On the right is the older part, on the left is the newer part. And then as you look farther down, you look down into Minden and Gardnerville, but this whole valley is called the Carson Valley, which is kind of a misconception in the area. You would think that Carson City was in Carson Valley. A lot of people think that, but it's not. Carson City is in Eagle Valley, and the valley to the south is Carson Valley. So, a little bit of trivia there. Now there's some fall colors up ahead. These trees, they're just starting to turn too, but you see the trees closest on the right-hand side of the road. Then over on the left-hand side of the road, those cottonwoods, those kind of go along the river. So, yeah, these colors are starting to turn, huh, honey?
Yeah, a little.
Alrighty, we're a little farther into Carson Valley. These are neat. On the right here, they're water ski lakes, and they're just man-made lakes for people to go water skiing on. I don't know how popular they are, but well, there's a sign there, Water Ski Club. And then this next section here with that old ranch house, that's called the Cradle Bar Ranch. It's been there for a long time. I worked there 40 years ago, I guess, building fences. And then this bridge over the Carson River we're on is called the Cradle Bar Bridge right there. Man, those fall colors are pretty. And then here, coming along here, I think this is probably the Stateline Ranch. When I was a kid, we used to come out here and get hay. My sisters had horses, and we would come out here and get hay for the horses. And well, there was one thing neat. Arnold Stateline, he was just this rancher guy, you know, probably multi-generational, I don't know, rancher guy. They had a number of ranches out here in the Carson Valley. And that hay barn over there, that was where we went and got hay in our 62 Ford pickup. And it was a half-ton pickup. We would load a ton of hay on it and all ride back with the truck all squashed down. And if I remember right, I seem to remember the hay was $14 a ton. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's what I seem to remember. But I was looking along here. Arnold was a pretty wise guy, yeah. And you can see him if you look close in these trees. There's pipes sticking up with just a T on top. And a lot of ranchers would, and the hay farmers would shoot rabbits because they ate the hay, and they would let people come out and shoot the rabbits. But what Arnold did was he built hawk roosts along. There's one there. He built hawk roosts along here just outside his fence, and the hawks would sit on those hawk roosts and look for rabbits, and then they would go get the rabbits, and it worked pretty good. So he was a clever guy. Ooh, look at that tree. That's some nice colors on that one. These almost look like fruit trees along here, some of these shorter ones. Ever notice the fall colors are the same yellow as the yellow road signs? I never really noticed that before. Alrighty, so we're coming into Minden, and this is this intersection here. We're on Highway 395 South, and we're coming into Minden, and we will go straight and get on Highway 88, which is more of a rural highway as opposed to an interstate highway. Oh, we got. And on the right is the Douglas County Aquatic Center. I think that's that blue building up ahead. And then Douglas High School is here. Got a roundabout coming up. Douglas Tigers. And then this road here off to the right, it's called Mottsville Lane to the right, Waterloo Lane to the left. But if you turn right and go down Mottsville Lane, it takes you up over Kingsbury Grade into Lake Tahoe, just a little ways north of the casino core. As compared to if you take Highway 50 over, you get up to Lake Tahoe quite a bit farther south of the casino core. We'll be going past both of those roads on our way back, so we'll talk about it then. And then the housing over along the foothills of the Sierra, that's still considered Genoa, which is, I don't know, the people in Genoa say their town is the oldest settlement in Nevada. Dayton says theirs is the oldest settlement in Nevada. And I think they finally figured out some technical wording that makes everybody happy. But it's just this old, quiet community that's pretty nice along the foothills of the Sierras. I guess the toe of the Sierras, there's really not any foothills. So... And then off to the left, it's kind of hard to see, but off to the left on the base of those hills there's some houses over there. And my dad, when he was first in Carson City or in this area looking for where to live, I guess he almost bought some property down here to build a house on. Property was quite a bit cheaper down here than in Carson City. And he talked about that one time and how he liked it down here too, but it was real rural and just too far away for somebody who made their living as a doctor to be able to respond quickly to stuff, so he didn't. And after he talked about that, we were going on a road trip somewhere. And I spent some time thinking, I wonder how my life would have been different if I would have grown up down here instead of where I lived. And it was just kind of an interesting thing to think about. And I think I prefer, if I had to pick, if I was given the choice, I would have picked growing up where we lived instead of out here in really a fairly rural area. It would have been even more rural then. I mean, our neighbors would have been miles away instead of, I don't know, hundreds of feet away, thousands of feet away. So, but every time we come down here, I kind of think about that, you know, wonder where the exact place was over there, what would have been different, and just the kind of things you think about when you're driving. So look at those red trees there. Those are pretty. The reds and the yellows and the greens. We're sort of starting to get to the end of the, I call it the floodplain area of Carson Valley. You know, over the eons and centuries, the river has just kind of meandered around through here, depositing stuff, and that's why it's so flat. But up ahead, you can see how we start like rising off the floodplain area and going back up into the mountains. And look at those mountains straight ahead, those just jagged granite mountains. They're pretty. And that's what I like about Nevada, is just the varying terrain and the depth. To me, is just beautiful. Man, it's just beautiful up ahead here, that canyon, that rocky canyon. And you can see they had a fire. When did that burn off?
That's the Tamarack fire.
Tamarack fire?
3 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, and like a couple months before the Caldor fire. So this leads into what's called Hope Valley, which is where we're hoping we're going to see a lot of the trees that have turned as we go through the canyon. This is on the south end of Lake Tahoe. So this is the valley part before you climb up into the basin and you get to Lake Tahoe.
Should we stop up here at the lottery ticket selling place? Buy a lottery ticket. Today could be our big break, honey. Could be our big break.
Yeah.
I think I'll stop and get one. Except that. Is that the spot? No.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, well. Maybe we'll find another place to buy a lottery ticket. Can't win if you don't play.
There's a turnoff right up here, I believe, is the turnoff to Markleyville.
It looks kind of dry up here, don't you think? Don't those? I mean, I don't know what a dry tree looks like, but doesn't it? Don't those trees with the leaves turning, the deciduous trees, don't they look dry? What's this up here on the left? Is that, what's it called?
Don't know. Desolation
Hotel.
Oak Valley.
I think that's a new name. I don't think it's always been called Desolation Hotel.
Well, up here just a little bit, I think, is what used to be called Sorensen's Resort. And I believe it has new owners now, so I'm not sure what it's called. We'll have to, yeah. Oh, apparently it's this.
It's part of this Desolation Hotel.
Desolation. You can stop there. There's a little restaurant there you can rent these little cabins that you see there.
Boy, but once you get up into these higher elevations, you know, in the cooler temperatures, these trees have turned a whole lot more in color.
7,000 feet we're at right now. Quarter mile. So we're going to turn right here, which is Meyers, Lake Tahoe. We're going to cross this little meadow here and the Carson River.
I've always liked this little meadow up here. It's just kind of this hidden, beautiful area. And up here is pretty near where the Carson River starts.
Yep.
I don't know at what point.
The west fork of the Carson.
Yeah. I don't know at what point enough creeks come together that it becomes a river, but what we just crossed over is the Carson River.
So we're going to climb elevation here, and then we will come back into the Tahoe Basin on the south end into what's known as Christmas Valley.
So this is 7,000 feet here.
So what's today? The 13th, October 13th, I think. So mid-October.
2024.
So we're now in California. And in the Lake Tahoe Basin.
Not much fall colors here because it's mostly evergreen trees. Some right through here, but That's a pretty meadow over there.
Yeah.
So that's 7,500 feet, it looks like. Or is that the route it takes now we're in the Tahoe Basin?
Yeah, we passed the basin sign a little bit ago. That's a hiking trail over there to the right where those cars are. Big Meadow, I think it is, hiking trail. October can really be a really good month to come up to the Lake Tahoe because it's not yet winter season, so the town isn't too crowded. Weather's still nice. It might be a little crisp cool, but it's not, usually too cold. And right now it's not. It's supposed to be like 70s here. Low 70s in Tahoe, I think, today.
Thermometer on the car right now at this moment says 57 degrees.
At what time? 11:30, about 11:30.
So what's lake level?
Lake level 6,200 feet.
6,200.
So now we're starting to come down into this Lake Valley, it's called, but specifically Christmas Valley.
Can you see what our elevation is on there? It's like on the 3 o'clock sign.
68.
6,800. And what's lake level? 62?
Yeah.
So we're still about 600 feet above the lake.
And over here to the left, I'm trying to give that as best as I can, but I got, unfortunately, rear view mirror. Can't do that. Maybe I can get it later. Over to the left of where we're at right now is pretty bad burn area, which was the Caldor fire. I believe that was 2 years ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago. This is Highway 50 coming from Sacramento over on the left-hand side. And that whole area burned is where it came into the basin. So you will see a lot of burned trees. And up there towards the top is the highway.
Highway 50.
Mm-hmm. And that is Echo View Summit up there. Anyways, it burned. It came into the basin, over that area right there, and down into this Christmas Valley area. So as we start to come in here, we may start to see some trees at this lower, on the road level here, that were burned. I don't know if it may not have come all the way to the road. It may be closer to the base of that mountain is where the burn was.
Well, there's back there that was burned on the other side of the road,
Mm-hmm.
the right-hand side. So, yeah, see, you can see on the trees over there, it burned in through here.
Okay, now we're coming into the town of Meyers.
Wow, that whole mountain burned there. Wow.
Yeah, it burned almost up to the back of the house. I used to live up in this area, and the Caldor fire, when it jumped the highway, caught these hills and mountains behind it you see on fire. There's a lot of houses up in these trees. This is the little 9-hole golf course. This is the holiday market.
It used to be called
Little
Meyers.
gas station here.
Roadrunner. It's still the Roadrunner gas station.
We're in the town of South Lake Tahoe now, heading north. We're going to stop and have some lunch here at one of the restaurants we like up here, Spouts. It's organic,
healthy food.
food. Right over here to the left, this hotel used to be a Motel 6 with a fence around it. They're getting ready to tear all of that property down. This little building here that used to be a Caro's a long time ago. That's all going to be restored to wetland. It was recently purchased by the Tahoe Conservancy. So people have been happy about that. I believe it was the last piece of property that was needed to be purchased by the Conservancy along the Upper Truckee River. obviously.
Denny's, remember the Denny's blew up?
Yeah, the Denny's had an explosion in their kitchen. I don't know what it's supposed to, what they're going to turn it into. It's vacant there on the corner. Over here to the right is the middle school, South Lake Tahoe Middle School.
Well, now you just start to see Lake Tahoe.
Yep, and this Spouts restaurant is just right up here. Not this light, but the next one. And the lake is just right out in front of that. So we won't get any pictures at the restaurant. But when we leave the restaurant, heading back down the mountain, we'll get some pictures of Lake Tahoe on the way out. But Spouts is up here on the left-hand side. Getting a parking spot is challenging. Not this one, but just past the light is this little shopping area there with the Spouts restaurant. Here we are at Spouts. Tom, what did you order?
I ordered a tempeh burger, but looking at the list, it looks like I got a tempeh burrito.
Oh, well, you like burritos, though.
I like burritos. Something different. And a bowl of spicy lentil soup. That's what I got.
And what kind of drink?
All green juice.
I got a peach smoothie. I got a California Crunch sandwich with chips. So avocado, cream cheese, romaine, sprouts, red onion, I forget what else was in that. Should be good. Alright, there's Tom's tempeh burrito with chips. And what was this?
Spicy lentil soup.
My Tahoe Crunch, or no, California Crunch. Oh, olives, that's right, olives. Should be good. Little bike pedaling thing. Bike rental. Are these like the dual pedalers? Yep. Huh. For 2 people. Four people. That's a 4 unit.
4-man. I like that view of the lake down the street.
Yep.
That's a pretty shot.
Here to the light, and the lake is here over on the left-hand side. So as soon as we turn, oh, what are they building over there? That used to be campground by the lake right there. It was campground, outdoor campgrounds. But they're building something over there. Wonder what that is. What does that sign say there? Coming soon? Can you read that, hon? I don't have my glasses on.
Coming soon. A building. South Tahoe Parks Foundation.
Oh, I wonder if it's like rec center or something.
I'll swing wide on my turn so you can see what the little logo says. That round green logo on the sign.
Okay, and there's Lake Tahoe over to the left there.
I always felt like this is one of the like real scenic views of Lake Tahoe. You got all that like natural beauty and then the urban environment right across the street.
Right there, see a sign for Tepsville Aroma. It used to be in this building here with the flags, but it's no longer. We used to go there all the time, and now it's Taste of Tahoe. We haven't been there. I think it was a type of ethnic food, wasn't it, when we looked it up?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Some kind of unusual ethnic food.
So we're still in South Lake Tahoe on the California side. A lot of small little motels here. Over here to the left is the, I just drew a blank on the name of it.
Travel Inn?
No, on this side. Beach and Ski Club. Lakeland Village. Lakeland Village. One of the first times that we came to my parents, my brother and I came to Lake Tahoe. We stayed there, and it was in November, and it snowed, but there are little condos in there, and it was really neat. Over here, this is a relatively new shopping center. It has a Whole Foods.
Chipotle.
And Chipotle. There's another one of the Red Huts. We went there last time we came up a year ago, June. Tom and I came up for our anniversary and stayed at Bally's, which used to be Caesar's Tahoe. On the left there, that's a vacation, like timeshare place. I don't know what company owns that anymore. And a McDonald's on the left, an IHOP. Never been to that IHOP.
I've never been there either.
You can't see it here, but over on the right, just past the light, I believe it is a memorial area. I believe it's for children who have died in the community. There's a log there with names and whatnot on it. So more of the little motels all along this way as you're heading up to Stateline, where you cross from the California side to the Nevada side, which is right at the casinos.
I always like that motel. They've got a pool there that's no longer used in storage underneath it. There was a sushi place right there that went to with my mom. There was a sushi place. We'd been there.
And this is a nice shopping center here on the right. There used to be a Rayleigh's market there, but last winter, I think it was, they had a roof collapse in there, and they decided to close it down. So there's something coming. I think it's supposed to be a Target, like a mini Target's going to come in there, which is kind of odd.
Yep. And then up here on the left was they had a huge project planned and they got started, and then I'm not sure what happened, but it kind of stopped. And now it's getting going again, which is neat. And Harris Casino on the right. Harvey's Casino was on the left. You can see the edge of it there. That's the one that some guy put a bomb in, shoot, back in the late 70s. Yeah, that building there with the glass facade, and tried to extort money from them and almost got away with it, but not quite. Welcome to Nevada.
Yep, across the state line. And up here on the left, this is the new Golden Nugget. It's an old building, used to be the Horizon.
Del Webb Sahara Tahoe.
Before that was what?
That was 60s? Back in the 60s and 70s. My uncle would come up and stay there and gamble, and all that stuff you see in the front is wasn't there then. It was just a building set way back from the road. But he would come up on junkets where they would pay his airfare and hotel room and stuff for him to come out and gamble.
So on the right here, this is the brand new Tahoe Event Center. And they have a hockey team that's playing there. The Tahoe Night Monsters.
Tahoe Night Monsters.
They are a farm team, I guess you'd say, for the Las Vegas Knights hockey team. But they're going to have concerts and everything there, so.
And this used to be a place where in the wintertime they would manicure the snow quite a bit. You could do sleigh rides and stuff there. They had snowmobiles rented, snowmobile rentals. Then on the left is a golf course, right?
Yeah, that's Edgewood. That's where the American Century Golf Tournament, the Celebrity Golf Tournament, is played there at Edgewood. You golfed there, didn't you, once?
One time, yep.
Okay, we're still on Highway 50, Nevada side here. We're coming up to an area that's called Round Hill. It's a shopping center there. There's homes up in the trees there.
We used to stay up at the lake, our family, for a week or two every year. We had some friends that owned some property right on the lake, and we would come over here to Round Hill. It'll kind of, as we come over the top of this hill, you'll see it. But that's where we did our grocery shopping. There was a Safeway there. I think the Safeway is still there.
Yeah.
It's just behind a bunch of other buildings now.
Yeah, there used to be a steak restaurant in there. The Midnight Mine. I was in high school when our family first came to Lake Tahoe, and or actually, yeah, I think it was like my senior year or my first year of college. But we started going there, and then my parents decided to move up to South Lake Tahoe, and we used to go there all the time. But it's probably been gone now for, God, 25 years, maybe longer. But it was real dark inside. It was all like being inside a mine, I guess. There's a Safeway. The Safeway sign.
There's a Safeway sign. There used to be a gas station there where that fence is. That fence has been there for years, too. And then on the left coming up is Round Hill Resort. I think it was a state park, but they had a swimming pool there, too, which I always thought was odd.
I'd never been there. It's very popular. They built a new parking area. Used to be everybody would park on the highway, and it was just a mess. But they redid all the parking, but I've never been over there. And this area coming up here, I'm surprised to see there's a whole grove of aspen right there, and they have not turned at all.
Yep.
Usually they are just super bright yellow and orange, and they've not turned at all. I think everything's late this year. It's been too warm, I guess.
Yep. Then this little shopping area has been here for pretty much as long as I can remember. There used to be a 7-Eleven in one of those little office style buildings there. It was kind of interesting. Coming up here is a conference center. I think it's the Presbyterian Church Conference Center right
Off
on the
to
lake
left,
there.
yeah.
So,
This area is called Zephyr Point or Zephyr Cove. And a little bit further up the road here, we'll get to the Zephyr Cove Resort. And they have cabins you can rent, a restaurant, and on one side, on the lake side. And then on the right side is a campground for RVs, tent camping. So we're getting ready to come up here to it at the stoplight. And the MS Dixie paddle wheel boat that goes over to Emerald Bay leaves from this area too. We camped there before we moved to Lake Tahoe. We camped there once in our motorhome, my parents and I, and some friends. There's the restaurant and the MS Dixie, but it's not there.
they have a parasailing place. In the summer, you can go parasailing from there. George Hotel High School.
Now we're getting ready to come up on what's called Cave Rock Tunnel there at Cave Rock.
And if the audio hasn't cut out, you would hear what's a tradition for many, many people going through this Cave Rock Tunnel. People honk their horn going through the tunnel. Generations of people have honked their horn going through the tunnel. But there's Cave Rock, and if you look at the rock at the right angle, you can see a woman's face. They call that Lady of the Lake.
This could be a pretty icy area here in the wintertime. Got to take it slow going through there. Continuing along Highway 50, we're headed down. We've passed Glenbrook, which is a very historic place. Early days of the lake and the resort community. So we're headed down now. We're going to start going down towards Carson City.
And here we are almost to Spooner Summit. And coming up on the left here, it's hard to see. There's a highway maintenance station, and a dirt road comes out to the highway. And that was the old Lincoln Highway that went over the hill to Kings Canyon in Carson City and down to Carson City and then to the Comstock. And that was the road. That was the road to Lake Tahoe back in the day. Little rest area here.
Yeah, I wonder what they're
Pull out
working on.
area. Looks like they're doing a lot of storm drain up there based on the type of pipe laying around that you can't really see.
There's another little aspen grove coming up here on the right. Maybe there'll be a little more color there. Oh, let's see. A little bit.
A little bit of color. Yeah, this year the fall colors were real different. They didn't all appear everywhere all at once in the same areas. It's just kind of more willy-nilly. And here, coming down on the right, that's Carson Valley. We're coming down over Spooner Summit now. On the right is Carson Valley with a lot of agricultural land. And it's like everywhere else is turning more and more residential.
Okay, we're almost down to the bottom here of Highway 50. All the trees are gone. But as we come down here into Carson City, hopefully we'll be able to get a good shot of, there's a new sawmill out here that they built in order to take care of all the logs that burned in the Caldor fire. So hopefully we can get it's on the right hand side as we come down. Tons and tons of logs.
Thousands, literally thousands of logs there. Yeah, you can see it over the guardrail there. All the piles of logs. Yep, and more logs. There it is, better shot.
It's hard to even see the sawmill in that area. It's just piles of logs.
The sawmill's that white building just right about in the middle of the picture, surrounded by logs. And then there's a Walmart, some storage units, and then to the left, it'll be coming into the picture as a Costco.
Okay, well, that's our drive for the afternoon. We hope you enjoyed the scenery. Saw some color, not a lot, a little bit.
Not a whole lot, not as much as we had hoped.
So we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell us what you thought about the video in the comments.
Okay, see you next time.